What's up, everybody? Zach is back with another episode of Journey to $1 Million. Thanks for tuning in. Let's jump right into it. Alright. Well, today the markets were pretty flat. Overall, my portfolio dropped a little bit, mostly because I'm holding the semiconductor ETFs, most notably SOXL. So we're down about 2.2% today. Not a big deal. Sometimes those things fall, and actually I took a chance while the semiconductors are down to pick up some calls on SMH, which is just the non-3x version of SOXL. If you're interested in SMH, you can also check out SOXX. But not a big deal. We will recover that soon enough, and not only this SMH position, but we picked up a couple other positions as well, and we will go over those. But anyways, the markets are flat, and looks like we got into this GEVO position, which we talked about yesterday, and it was up nicely today. So actually I went ahead, I think I had 4 contracts of GEVO call options, and I sold one off. I took the profit at about 27%, I think, like something like that. Because remember, guys, don't wait around to expiration. Don't wait around to not take profit. If your position, no matter if it's swing trading, day trading, call options, whatever, I usually do about, specifically for call options, usually I take profit at 25%, and then I'll sell another one at 50. I'll trim another one at 75, 100, and usually once I'm all in the green and I can't lose any money, I got all my money back, then I'm safe to let the last one ride until closer to expiration, see some lottery type of growth. But anyways, GEVO is up, THCX is up. I was selling covered calls on THCX, and I'm past my strike, so I'm going to get assigned, I believe, tomorrow, on Friday. But that's okay. I don't mind that. And also LAC, we had talked about that one last week, actually, and it had been down a little bit, but finally it's jumping back up. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. This is the lithium Americas. They have some lithium mines, which is very useful for making batteries. But anyways, yeah, it had been falling a little bit, so I think this is a pretty good entry on this one, LAC. I think options could be interesting, but it's up a little bit today. It definitely has a more room to grow. I think around 30 is pretty safe to say. But anyways, if you've been following along, you know what's up. And go back in the blogs, go back on my Twitter, and check out where we call these out. And for all of you who don't know, subscribe and follow my Twitter, because I do the live trading. You can see what trades I'm actually doing in real time. As soon as I make the trade on Webull, I will post a screenshot of the receipt the trade receipt on my Twitter. So go ahead and link in the description. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter. You can see that. If you need any advice, hit me up on Twitter. I try my best to answer all questions. And for the blog, if you are first time tuning in, go to the bottom of this page on my website, prostockadvice.com. Link in the description. And go ahead and put your email address in right here, and you will get the daily notifications of whenever a new write-up is available. Alright, thanks for that, guys. Now let's go ahead and move into, well, here are some of the positions actually that got filled yesterday. And I always set limit orders, so sometimes they don't get filled even though I post on Twitter. At least I'm trying. Sometimes they don't hit my limit price, but it's okay to be cheap, to be honest with you. If it doesn't hit, it doesn't hit. There's a bunch of opportunities that we're going to have. Doesn't matter. But anyways, I had a Lee, which we're going to talk about today. But I had a Lee, I was selling a put, and it was getting pretty close to buying the 100 shares, but I wanted to go ahead and close that. I think I closed that for like 75% profit, which is okay. I could have let that ride to expiration and kept the full premium for that. But it's okay. I'm going to reevaluate and possibly just go ahead and buy them or sell another put and run the wheel strategy on Lee. But anyways, we'll talk about that more later. My GEVO, I had opened up 4 contracts here for the 12.5 February 19th. and my entry price was $1.10. And then once it went up to $1.40, I went ahead and just sold one contract. So like I said, that's about, it was 25.27. I just went ahead and sold one just to lock in those profits, because guys, even though 25% is not all that much when we're talking about options tradings, I mean, you can do 300,000%. It's not all that uncommon. But for me, I'm okay with 25%, so I'm not tripping about that. But anyways, then the next one was the SMH. That's the semiconductor ETF. Like I said, I went ahead and picked up 4 of these contracts at $6 each. So this was a little bit expensive, but it's a semiconductor ETF, which has been just performing very, very well. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. So if you're interested in just buying these outright, it's not a bad idea. Currently, the super trend is bearish or neutral. So, but that's okay. I mean, it's down a little bit. I'm just going to go ahead and pick those up while I can, because overall, look at this. Overall, since the coronavirus low, I mean, this is not a bad industry to be in. Of course, there are some of these dips right here, and that was in the September dip and then the run up to the election. Yep, the run up to the election dip. So right now we're experiencing another one, and if you can get some of these while they're a little bit cheap, I think it's the time to do that, because the super trend on these dips, this is the indicator. If you guys don't know, I set it at 7.3, just the standard, and it always works for me. If you set it at something else, please write me in the comment section, let me know. But it always worked for me. So this was more, yeah, it dipped a little bit, but in the super trend was bearish until here. So even though it dipped a little bit and flat and coming back up, so I think even if we had bought it down here while the super trend was still bearish, and this is on the day chart, by the way, I think it's okay, because eventually it goes up. I don't follow the indicators all that much unless I'm really just focused on swing trading, some less fundamental stock, but mostly I try to stick with the fundamental trading. And this fundamental is very, very good. The semiconductors are down overall. And then there was another semiconductor I picked up, was the MU. I picked up 4 contracts of those for $2.90 each. And those are down today as well. I want to go take a look at that. Let's see, where's the MU? Here it is, the MU. Positions, sorry, MU. Yeah, I'm down 10%, so that's not that bad. And this is the Micron, the one that we wrote about yesterday. So it's down 10% right now overall. That's normal. I always try to buy the dip, so of course we cannot time the bottom, so it's expected to go down a little bit. But nevertheless, if you guys want to take a closer look at those. Oh, and I rolled my Tesla. It seems like I rolled it too early. Probably wasted some money there, but it's all good. Things happen, because Tesla actually pulled back. It was up pre-market, so I went ahead and rolled it because I didn't want to get assigned, because this 100 shares of Tesla is not a little bit of money. But nevertheless, it pulled back, so probably didn't need to do that, but it's all good. I was just playing it safe. Alright, the first one I want to talk about is HOL. This is Holly City Inc., which is a SPAC that is supposed to merge with Astra. Now, if you guys don't know about Astra, it is a rocket company that is putting the vehicles in Earth orbit, so mainly satellites. And there is a huge demand in putting satellites in for all of these, a lot of different companies, and actually it's just astronomically increasing. No pun intended on that. But anything in this space, no pun intended, should just totally be in your portfolio. Sorry, I know those were really cheesy jokes, but I have a dry sense of humor. Anyway, so this I didn't do a graph on, but on my write-up, but I'll just go ahead and show you it right here, because there's no need for a TA on this, because look, it's just blasted off. I mean, literally. And you know, because of the rumors and stuff like that, if you're on Webull, and if you don't have a Webull, link in the description, go ahead and get yourself a Webull, follow along with us, and then all this UI is going to be the same, so you can know, if you're a beginner, you can know where the buttons and where to push and stuff like that. But anyways, if you go look on the news, you can read some news here. That's why Webull is really good for this, because it puts everything just right in one spot, and you can easily check everything out and do your research. But anyways, there's no need for a TA on this, but yeah, it was around $10 and it shot up to 17. It's pulling back. I would just go ahead and dollar cost average this. Just go ahead and start buying some, because this needs to be in your portfolio. Just look at the space, the Virgin Galactic SPCE. I mean, it's just going up so much. So I think this is an early one. I think we should get in on it. I think no problem can hit $30. Try to get it less than 15, but like I said, I would just dollar cost average it in right now, which I will be doing. No options. I'm just going to straight up buy the commons. 2 to 4 months, a little bit risky. Put it at a 4 because, you know, it's new, it's a SPAC. I mean, you could even put it at a 5 to be honest with you, but overall it's going to be fine, I think. All right, the next one is Workhorse. Everybody probably knows about this one already. It's an American EV company that is growing a lot right now. Now, if you look at this chart here, I think that this is just a little bit overvalued. So if we take a closer look here, it's jumped up a decent amount over the last week or so. Now it's trading right at the 36 level, but it was up to 40. Now my price target is 40 on this one. I want to enter around 27. I think this is overvalued. Actually, if you go back and look since this is about May, start at the beginning of this chart. This is the day chart. If you look at this, it's actually in a really nice parallel channel. Also, the MACD is overbought right now, but for sure because it just had the news about the, you know, the Biden news about they want to electrify the federal 645,000 fleet, and that's why we went into the ACTC yesterday and the day before. So you guys go ahead and check that out. Go back in the blogs, go on my Twitter, and you can see my ACTC positions, which is going to be an awesome one. But this one is different because not only I don't think this doesn't have the production capacity to, first of all, to turn out anywhere close to 645. Also, the CCIV, which is merging with Lucid Motors, they are going to have cars on the streets this year, supposed to. And I believe that they will, not to mention their cars look really nice. That's going to be a really nice Tesla competitor. Workhorses, they just don't have the production capacity. I think it was 5,000 vehicles per year. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was something like that, which is not very much. So I think this is overvalued right now. I'm not going to guarantee that it's going to pull back so much, but if you look at the past history, it is it's in this nice channel, and of course, past history doesn't mean future performance by any means. But this is my opinion. I'm not going to touch this one unless it pulls back. I need a cheaper price to get into this one, but if it does pull back to around the 27 level and bounces off this support, which, to be honest with you, a lot are bouncing off our supports right now, including Lee, which we're about to talk about. So if Workhorse goes ahead and bounces off, then I'm a buyer. But right now, I think it's too expensive, and I would buy it at around 27, wait for it to push back up. But I wanted to go ahead and put this on the watch list because it doesn't matter, go up, go down, we need to be watching it, I think. And but currently, I would put the money in Lee. I would put the money in CCIV if you want to make an EV play. But nevertheless, I think you could even go ahead and buy a put on this, all the way down to 27. But of course, that's a little bit risky, and puts give me anxiety because stocks only go up, right? No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, I think give this a little bit of time. I think it's gonna. I think it's gonna pull back, but we'll see. I can be wrong. Do your own research, guys. All right, let's move on to Lee. A lot of people have been messaging me about Lee because NIO and Xiaopeng have been taken off recently. And actually, I just saw some really cool NIOs, and I saw a neon green. Well, it was a white NIO. It was an ES8, and it had a neon green trim, which I thought looked really nice. I posted on my Instagram. You guys go check that out. And then the same day, it was yesterday actually. I saw one of the lime green Xiaopengs, which was the first time I saw them. You know, guys, there's not as many of these cars on the streets as you think. This is like the NIO, especially NIO, but NIO, Xiaopeng, and Lee, they're much more hyped up in the West, like in America, North America, and Europe. They're much more hyped up than they actually are in China. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, because there's a lot of NIO fanboys, which is very strange for me, because like I just assume 99% of everyone hasn't actually ever seen one or touched one. So that's kind of weird. But for me, I actually have every single one I've touched, and whatever seen the NIOs, the Xiaopengs, and the Lees. My personal opinion is Neos are very nice, but Xiaopeng is going to be better for technology-wise because they are self-driving. So they have better technology than Neo. Neos kind of, they look alright, but the insides are really nice, the interiors. But Li, in my opinion, is more, has a more luxurious feel. But that's just my opinion. So I think Li overall is a good buy because it has been underperforming Xiaopeng and Neo. It's around $30 right now. You can pick up this EV stock, and actually there's a lot more attention in the Chinese media towards Li these days for whatever reason. So I think this is going to be an excellent pickup. And like I said, I was selling puts on this, and it was approaching my assigning the price, my strike price for me to get assigned. But I went ahead and just took the profit on that and closed it. And I'm going to reconsider because it's bouncing up actually on my support, and it's in my buy zone. It's been in my buy zone, but as you see, it's kept falling. So right now it's just gracing the bottom of my buy zone. So this could be interesting. I'm going to reevaluate this and see what's going on in the next couple days and maybe into next week. And I might pick up a couple hundred shares of this, or just get some midterm calls. There's nothing wrong with that. I see it's making a push towards 44 really soon. It's been up there before. It's been up there. It currently is in a bullish super trend too. But a lot of people have been asking me about this one, so just went ahead and retouched on it. But yeah, I mean, overall, this is going to be a buy. And my opinion is these are actually nicer than Neos. Anyways. Alright, CCIV. So, as you know, this one is set to merge with Lucid, although it's technically is not confirmed, but they share a lot of board members, so it's probably going to happen. I wouldn't put it as all that risky as for the merger falling through, but I think that this one is up like 50% or something. It's literally went from like low 20s up into 35, and it's formed this really nice slope here for the support. And yeah, I mean, this is, if you guys are following along, you guys are making a lot of money on this, guaranteed. I know I talked to some people recently, and they're up hundreds of % already on some CCIV calls, and I would recommend adding money to this right now because it is actually down 8% on the day. I think it's 8%, something like that. So it's actually down a little bit. It's touching on 29. I would just go ahead and dollar cost average this by buying the commons. Of course, you can get the options. You can also cost average options too. You just get you can get one now, and then get a quantity of one contract now, and you can wait for tomorrow or the next day and just keep picking those up if you need to dollar cost average that. Also, you can consider different expiration dates and things like that. But probably you guys know that. And if you have any questions, feel free to message me again. I'm happy to answer any questions. But I don't see any problem with this getting to 50-60 because keep in mind, guys, this is EV. And these Lucid, the cars are going to be on the streets this year. I'm really excited about that. And if you guys know, I'm moving back to the States soon, and actually I'm thinking about getting a Tesla. But maybe I'll check this out, to be honest with you. They look really nice, so we'll see. But it's hard to beat Tesla. But see, that doesn't even matter stock-wise, because even if this is just a mediocre and just performs all right, it's still way undervalued right now as far as Lucid. But nevertheless, this is going to be a good play. So I would just go ahead and cost average this down right now. And just be a little bit careful, because if the rumor does fall through, it's going to drop like a down jet plane. But anyways, keep in mind, guys, the risk is, just to remind you guys, the risk is at a scale of 1 to 5. 1 is the lowest, 5 is the highest. And don't forget to follow me on all of the social medias. And the only way I make money from this right now, guys, is just a Webull. So you sign up for Webull, you get 4 stocks, a chance to get a Facebook stock, which is a really good one to own right now. I think I might do a report on Facebook later. And then I'll get 2 stocks if you use my link, so I really appreciate that. Usually the stocks are valued around $10 or so. Usually something like Ford or ADT lately they're giving out. But anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you have any questions, hit me up again, and I will see you on the other side. Peace.